This is an example of a spiritual cliche statement or a spiritual statement that usually, gets depicted as an absolute or extreme. Always remembering that on our growth, we don't want to be too extreme in any aspect, whether it's something, quote unquote positive or negative. We don't want to be extreme about any aspect in the sense of I thought about comfort zones. And some comfort zones are meant for your inner peace. Like some comfort zones are meant to not be broken, you know what I'm saying? Like the comfort zone of, you know, your home in this current moment, you know what I'm saying? Like you got things in your home to make that a comfort zone, you know what I'm saying? And again, as long as that comfort zone is not hindering you, that's another aspect. Like, so being aware of the comfort zones that are beneficial, there are beneficial comfort zones. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, I thought about like my comfort zone of like doing certain things by myself, you know, I know like when I go running, it's like it's something I do by myself. Like I'm not one of those people that kind of like, hey, y'all, let's go running. You know what I'm saying? Like if anything, I could go run with if I got a queen or a girlfriend at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Me and her could, you know what I'm saying, run. But I'm not one to, get with a group of people or, a group of my brethren and like, and not to say that I knock it or anything or that moment wouldn't exist. But I just think of how we got certain healthy comfort zones, like where that's my little moment to myself to go running, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my little space to myself, and that's a healthy comfort zone. Like, because we hear that absolute, like, spirituality, you got to break out of your comfort zones. You got to keep expanding. Only thing that remains the same is change. Yes, but that doesn't mean we take it to an extreme. And that's why I'm understanding upon the growth, it's changing at our own pace, you know what I'm saying, and not trying to forcefully change in comparison to somebody else, because we saw so-and-so over there make that big change, and since they talking about law of attraction and stuff like that, and I just got into law of attraction, I need to be, my changes need to look like theirs, you know what I'm saying? That's not true, and that's how we get, these unhealthy thoughts and negative thoughts, because, it's us trying to compare ourselves to somebody else or trying to be something we're not, because in that moment, if I was to try to invite people to run with me, I'd be trying to be something I'm not, you know what I'm saying, in that sense. And that's a healthy comfort zone. Like that comfort zone is not hindering me. And that's how like if this comfort zone is not hindering you, it's helping you, then it's not a comfort zone that you got to expand out of, you know what I'm saying? Because again, like if you take that expansion and change aspect to an extreme, then every morning when everybody wakes up, we will play musical chairs with each other's homes. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, it's Tuesday. I'm going to stay next door in so-and-so house, and then so-and-so next door going to stay in my house, and then also, though, we change clothes, and I got to wear so-and-so clothes, and they got to wear mine, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be the extreme of that, you know what I'm saying? So, again, just being aware of what this me sharing right now and just speaking, we just running. I ain't speaking from trying to preach to you or being no guru. It's something I've seen within my experience and want to share because I understand that sometimes some people be going through some of these things, and when they hear it spoken on in a certain perspective, it may help, gain insight. And just a part of my natural state of being. I don't be feeling like I'm obligated to wake people up. I just naturally like to share things that enlighten me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I naturally always been. I just like to share. If I see it working for me, I want to share. Why not? I'm not taking this information with me. You know what I'm saying? In that sense. So it's like, why not share? But again, like, some comfort zones are meant to be in place, you know what I'm saying? Hence why you got, like, your girlfriend or your wife is your wife, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, in order to spiritual grow, you got to have like a new partner every day, change, constant, and you realize, like, again, it's a balance, with anything, certain things change, at a slower pace. Some things are meant to change at a snap of a finger in a split second, but with any and everything, just make sure you're doing it because of your intuition and not because of a cliche statement or a cliche programming of like all people who do this have to do this, So here it is, you're trying to hold yourself to a standard of a statement or a programming. And the reason why it feels uncomfortable because it is a programming and something that's not truly healthy for you to be in alignment with. Hence why it has such a, uncomfortable feel for it. And again, that doesn't mean that we're being complacent. Yes, there are, like certain comfort zones that I had to break for the benefit. Like I had to break the comfort zone of not wanting to talk on videos, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that was for my benefit. I enjoyed breaking that comfort zone. So again, let your comfort zones that expanding and the comfort zones that you're keeping, let both be in alignment with what's best for you. So if you do have a comfort zone, let it be beneficial to your continuous growth. Because I continuously grow by being able to sleep in the same home, so by having a consistent place to stay. So by something remaining the same, by just one piece, just certain aspects, remaining the same. In order for that to remain the same, or in order to change, that one aspect has to remain the same, Because that's another thing too. If something is not remaining constant, how could you even see where change is being implemented, if something is not constant, you know what I'm saying? But again, if it's a comfort zone, it should be beneficial and not hindrance. Because some comfort zones, some comfortable behaviors we could see is like, a hindrance. It's like, all right, I'm going in this comfort zone, but it's always like feeling like, like I'm not moving or shit feels stagnant with this comfort zone, Because again, like even with breaking a certain comfort zone, like so say for instance, let me show you the paradox of this, like me going to the extreme of breaking out of a comfort zone is actually an unhealthy comfort zone. So that energy of like, oh, something seems like it's not right. Let me just get up and pack my bags and go, whoo, you know what I'm saying, to the extreme. And by constantly making that a habit, you know what I'm saying, it has become something, somewhat of a comfort zone, It's a comfort zone for me to just hurry up and move, instead of working things out to just hurry up and go and leave or, you know what I'm saying? But again, you start to see that whether a comfort zone or expanding out of it, whatever it is, it's beneficial. You're going to see the benefits from it, So again, back to what I was just explaining, an unhealthy aspect, so here is where I was trying to place gotta break out of the comfort zone, gotta expand, but I placed it in an area too extreme, and that's where it wasn't meant to be at, but it was the extreme of like, like moving, and I realized like, there's a level of breaking out of a comfort zone that is beneficial and a level of being in the comfort zone that is, beneficial as well. So it's like finding and just peeping out, how is it beneficial? If it's not beneficial, then switch it up, But again, like for myself, seeing me run by myself, that's a beneficial comfort zone for me, And then in other areas, I could, connect like, hey, we could link up or this and that now, you know what I'm saying? But running by myself is my comfort zone, a healthy comfort zone. I feel at peace, when I'm I'm allowed that space, you know. But then again, like there are unhealthy versions of both sides, you know. There are unhealthy versions of breaking out of your comfort zone. There are unhealthy versions of staying in your comfort zone, you know. And again, what I'm getting at is follow your intuition, follow what, you know, just automatically. If it feels wrong, it's not right. You know, it's like your intuition is letting you know. Like here it is where we'll feel something, but then we try to push through because we think we're supposed to. You know, it's like a lot of, you know, unhealthiness comes from doing what we think we're supposed to do instead of doing what's best for us, you know. And as I share that, I'm not sharing that from a preaching place of like, hey, I'm doing this shit and y'all ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's like just seeing like, you know, that's what it is from my experience, you know, and my constant growth, just seeing what aligns within my realm. I'm seeing like, all right, it is certain comfort zones that are beneficial to, you know, to keep. And again, using the home as an example, because that's one of the best examples. Again, because that with that example, it goes to show, well, all right, it must not meant to be extreme of movement. Because, yeah, it doesn't make sense for everybody to play musical chairs with their houses and with their clothes and with their cars. Every moment, everybody switch a car. Every moment, everybody switch a house. You know, like, again, like, comfort zones are not bad, you know. And again, I think what this all boils down to is, again, it's just removing the dual nature of looking at things as, oh, this is all good and this is all bad. No. There are good and bad things that comes from this. There are good and bad things that comes from this. Is aligning with, you know, what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? You see the positives and negatives from this comfort zone. You see the positives and negatives from expanding this comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? Like there's positive and negatives to both. Is finding what's best for you. Again, like, you know, and change, or should I say a comfort zone is not completely all bad. Like the fact that a comfort zone exists in your realm, that's bad. You know, you got to constantly be moving and doing something different, you know. And it's like, yeah, we are constantly moving and constantly doing things different. But again, like, you know, it's not to the point where we feel like we got to be in a different house every day, you know, for the sake of spiritual growth and making changes and expanding my comfort zone. Or, you know, again, we facing fears and expanding our comfort zone step by step, you know, at a pace that's best for us, you know. You know, one of the 4 agreements, you know, do your best. Don't try to do universal best or, you know, or the cat down the road best, you know. Shout out to Infinite. You know what I'm saying? Can't do, you know, somebody else best. I could do my best though. You know what I'm saying? And again, the more and more we start to tap into these understandings, you know, the more and more we align with ourselves. And if you find that you're starting to have aha moments and realizations, and then people, places, and things pop up in your realm to deter you from the realization that you just had. So here it is where I just realized this, like, hey, some comfort zones are meant for me to, you know, to stay aligned with. Now, as I have this realization, all of a sudden so-and-so pop up and like, man, you know what? Fuck that. You got to be extreme about changing your comfort zones. Like if you live in a house one day, you got to live in a different house another day, you know. But if that person pops up in my realm, I know automatically on some Truman Show shit, like, you know, that is a external antagonist that's meant for me to continue to not agree with, you know, in this moment, you know what I'm saying? So again, because I just had the realization that let me know to not, you know, have that perspective. And then that perspective pops up, you know what I'm saying? And it's not the universe trying to test us. Nothing is trying to test us as much as is a manifestation of the inner realm. Yeah, you just had this, like say for instance, yeah, you just had this realization, But that's one moment you're in this realization. You've had years of thinking otherwise. So that years of thinking otherwise may still pop up, externally on a physical level, you know what I'm saying, as well. And then you, again, same way you took care of it internally, you take care of it externally, and like, letting it be known, like, like internally, nah, I got a different perception and awareness how to deal with this. And externally, bam, same thing. And you, again, just eventually you see yourself setting those healthy boundaries so that you could be in alignment with the people, places, and things that, you should be dealing with and around, so that, you could thrive and flourish, and the people, places, and things in your environment gonna thrive and flourish because y'all meant to be around each other. You know what I'm saying? Don't never let a environment or people, a person, place, or thing make you, and again, it comes from your internal. For one, nobody can make you feel anything, but there is the fact that thoughts can be projected is a fact, so again, like, don't feel, don't allow for yourself to feel guilty or shame about, anything that you do, honestly. Shouldn't feel guilt or shame. But now is the vibrate. I'm gonna stop right there because I see that alignment to not try to explain no more, but at the same time, again, fully explaining, because with this video, I just fully, again, explained it in a manner that allows for you to, take what resonate, leave what don't, not pushing the info on you, and at the same time, not acting like, uh, like sometimes things could be presented as if, we don't know what we're talking about. Like, nah, I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? In that sense, of like sometimes we present things, hey, should we do this or should we do that? What's best for us? Like more in a question type of vibe. It's like, no, it's straightforward and factual, and at the same time, not from a perspective of like, oh, but you gotta, believe it. That's very key right now. Is to, I don't want to be dealing with nobody that's trying to force me to see their perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like that, my YouTube channel is not forced upon anybody. You gotta click YouTube, you gotta type in universal frequencies, and you gotta go click on my videos. So my perspective on videos, if any of my perspectives have been whether beneficial or unbeneficial, that's up to the people that's chiming in. Because again, I done set more than enough disclaimers of, hey, I'm not your guru. Hey, I'm on my growth just as much as you, So the fact that, again, you should understand for yourself to never take, someone else's word absolute over your own intuition, And again, like I just tapping in right now, seeing the inner work, or just making sure, again, like releasing, like anything that I'm doing that comes from a perspective that I picked up from somebody else, and I'm only following it because I felt like that person was a person that I should listen to about this subject matter, or whatever the case may be, like realizing like, all right, things misaligning in this area because this perspective is not meant for me to, to have. So I got to shift, and I say perspective, like, but this programming or this cliche statement, that, I may be following just because I heard somebody else say it or whatever, I'm seeing where, it's not aligning for me. So it's time to, transmute that perceptions and feel things out for myself, instead of just going off of, the aspect of like, in order to be spiritual, you got to, keep expanding your comfort zone. It's like, all right, I understand that, but let me understand that for myself, you know what I'm saying? And not just like, hearing somebody say that and just going off of their interpretation of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, let me, all right, I peep that perspective. Let me see how that operates within my realm, you know, and then I look around and it's like, well, all right, I see where in my realm is certain things that are comfortable that, because again, like, oh, uh, you can't have any comfort. You're not growing if there's comfort. It's like no, because think about our growth. Source always made sure that we was able to grow in a comfortable manner. Like a few minor little, aches and pains, or like you say, little growing pains here or there. But for the most part, you didn't feel like, it wasn't excruciating pain or quick pain. It wasn't like we was 3 years old and all of a sudden our fucking bones just like whoosh, whoosh. You know what I'm saying? It went from being like a 3-year-old size to like a 16-year-old grown person in the snap of a finger. You know what I'm saying? And that's another way to understand and see how something doesn't resonate. Like as above, so below. Do we grow like that on a physical level? You know what I'm saying? Like, or metaphysical, but because again, the physical is a personification of the metaphysical. The physical is a personification of the metaphysical, or the unseen aspects. But again, like the way we grow, it's like it's still some level of comfort even with growth. So I'm constantly growing, but there's a level of comfort that's there with it too. You know what I'm saying? So again, just understanding, hey, what this video is about. What's the solution to this? Oh, it's to understand that when we hear these little cliche statements, and especially the cliche statement of like breaking out of comfort zones, that any and all these statements are not meant to be taken to extremes. There's going to be some level of comfort that still exists. I mean, again, what most of us is doing, we're waking and aligning so we could be doing what we love. Doing what we love, yeah, again, there's going to have moments of breaking comfort zones. But again, when you're breaking that comfort zone, you're going to see like it feels great to break that comfort zone compared to like, you're trying to break a comfort zone, but it feels excruciating. And every time you try to continue to step into this new area, it just feels very uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's obviously not meant. But again, now's the vibrate. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past. Right now, in solutions, tapping into our inner guidance. If any person, place, or thing is trying to influence you, that's not, again, like we're looking for freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that. And understanding that all messages ain't for everybody. I had to come to that realization of like, a lot of things I'm speaking on ain't for, for every single person. It's for those who appear to receive the messages from universal frequencies in this lifetime, in this earthly plane. That's who these messages are for. All the extra shit is extra shit. Peace. Now's the vibrate. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past right now.